It's been almost a year since I talked about this particular topic, and just based off of how things are looking right now, it doesn't seem like it's something that's going to happen anytime in the near future. In fact, we're still waiting for Nintendo to release Metroid Prime 4, a game that we've been waiting to see since like 2017. Um, as far as Metroid getting its own anime series, I don't think it's something Nintendo's going to invest too heavily in, only because they have more popular franchises like Mario and Zelda and Super Smash Brothers and Splatoon and all that other stuff. To a point where Metroid, I think, has been overshadowed, and you look at the Metroid series, I mean, it's had more than one peak period. The Metroid series been around since the NES days of the 80s, and the Super Metroid game from 93 was considered to be a classic. And then you had Metroid Prime, which came out almost a decade after that in 2002. And that game is probably one of the best GameCube games of its time. And like Metroid was really big back in the 2000s. And I do feel that Nintendo wanted to do an anime or whatever. They kind of they missed the opportunity. They should have did something when the series um had achieved a ton of commercial success with Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Those two games came out between '02 and '04, and it's mind-boggling how the Metroid series has been around for so long and we never got a major movie or an anime series or nothing like that. But then again, the Metroid series, for the most part, has been niche. It's only appealed to a niche audience, and yeah, Samus Aran being I guess being one of the main like female like protagonists of a period of gaming where that wasn't really too common. It made her stand out back in the day, but nowadays you see more like female protagonists and stuff in video games just about everywhere. And I don't think like for the most part, Samus Aran is a she's not much of a character that has a lot of charisma, a character that appeals to the masses like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider does, because the Tomb Raider series I think started in the mid '90s, and the game sold like crazy. And by the time we got to the 2000s, we were getting Tomb Raider movies and stuff like that. Um, Metroid never reached the level of popularity as Tomb Raider has. Samus Aran was never as popular as Lara Croft, and I'm not exactly sure like who this would appeal to. Like who would want to watch a Metroid anime series if, for the most part, the the game is or the franchise doesn't appeal to casuals for the most part. I mean, I guess at one point it kind of did, but it doesn't seem like the Metroid series is what it used to be. And you look at the last big Metroid game that came out, it came out back in 2017. It was basically a remake of Metroid 2, which came out back in '91 for Game Boy. And a lot of people will go on record and tell you that some of Nintendo's best work regarding the Metroid series is like in the '90s and the 2000s for the most part, because in the teens decade, there hasn't really been anything on the Metroid series that's really turned heads, unless it's like a remake of something else or a remake of an older game. But but yeah, I feel like the Metroid series has been anime worthy for quite some time. I mean, because look at some of the animated series that we're getting on Netflix. I believe Castlevania's been around since the '80s, and it got its own anime series. And we recently got a Tekken anime series, which also appeared on Netflix. And Tekken, the series has been around since the '90s, but then Tekken 3 came out in '97, and Tekken Bloodline was based off of that. So we do get we do get television adaptations of popular video game franchises, but it kind of baffles me as to why Nintendo never did anything with Metroid in the past. They could still do so in the future, but we have to wait and see what Metroid Prime 4 is going to look like, how well it's going to do on a commercial level in terms of sales, because who knows? Maybe if Metroid Prime 4 becomes super popular and it becomes a massive commercial success, it would possibly lead to Nintendo doing something with the series outside the realm of video game. Hopefully, like with media or with movies or something like that, because I feel like Metroid has definitely deserved its own movie or its own anime for quite some time. And honestly, depending on how popular or successful Metroid Prime 4 is, maybe Nintendo could do something with the Metroid series outside of that, because like Metroid, um, it's been around since what the I think like 1986 or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's like 1986, and I think 2026 will probably be like its 40-year anniversary or whatever. So who knows? Maybe Nintendo could do something special for the series during its 40th anniversary. But we'll just have to wait and see. Um, what Metroid Prime 4 is going to look like, or if Nintendo, makes any announcements in regards to a potential, anime series within, the Metroid franchise a little bit later down the line.